What's going on, everybody? D'Ella here. Yeah, there's a lot of content creators out there that really kind of tweak my nerves when it comes to talking New York Giants football. There's a lot of them out there that don't really get the whole picture, don't really understand exactly what's going on. They take a lot of swings, have a lot of misses. And there's one channel, you know, Chat Sports, headed by Marshall, whatever the hell his last name is, I don't care. But they're a rumor mill, and it's not just like it's just him. You know, they've got a representative for every single team, but that's just how, you know, Chat Sports works, you know. Every rumor they hear, you know, every little player that does the slightest bit of thing, you know, they got to sit there and talk about them and blow them up and make them seem like they're bigger than life. Man, some of y'all eat up the stuff that he feeds you on that channel like Jameis Winston eats W's during pregame speeches. But now Marshall is coming out here talking about trading Darius Slayton. He's continuing to talk about this because he's one of these guys that's out here who believes that Jalin Hyatt should just be handed that third wide receiver spot on a silver platter just because he needs the development. A lot of players out there, they need development, okay? They need time on the football field. But just because you get time out there on the football field, it doesn't mean you're going to develop any further. It doesn't mean you're going to become any better of a player. Some guys just flat out don't get it. Some guys just can't run a full route tree. Jalin Hyatt may be one of those guys. Jalin Hyatt may just end up being a gimmick guy, a guy that you send deep on routes and throw him a deep ball here and there, depending on the play selection, and hope that he comes down with it. That might be all he ever is. Like when he came into the league, I told everybody, I was like, man, his ceiling could be Will Fuller. But right now, he's got to get to like a Marquez Valdes-Scantling level. Marquez Valdes-Scantling is a guy that has never developed into a full route tree. He developed a full route tree. He's just a wide receiver that basically catches deep balls, man. They did it with the Kansas City Chiefs, and now he's with the Buffalo Bills. Jalin Hyatt hasn't even gotten to that level of player yet. Okay? And nobody knows if he even will. And sure, it'd be nice for him to go out there and get some more playing time, but he can't just have it handed to him. He's not just going to have it handed to him over a guy like Darius Slayton, a player that has put up 50 receptions damn near every single year of his career and has produced over, you know, 750 yards plus. This cannot happen. And I hear Marshall come out and be like, well, we got to trade Darius Slayton for a starting cornerback, and then he comes out and says this is a developmental year, this, that, and the other, and it's like, Marshall, how is this a developmental year? I don't understand how this is a developmental year for the New York Giants. You just spent over $130 million on Brian Burns to come out here and play linebacker / defensive end pass rusher for this football team, to add to Kayvon Thibodeaux and Dexter Lawrence. You kept Daniel Jones. You didn't bring in another quarterback. How is this a developmental year? How? How? Somebody out there, please explain to me how this is a developmental year. Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll are going into their third season. I've said this, God only knows how many times. They have to prove that 2022 wasn't a fluke. They have to produce some kind of success this season. No doubt about it. They have to show that this team is somehow going in the right direction to John Mara. And if they don't, that seat's going to get even hotter going into 2025. There is no way in hell this is a developmental year. No matter how you feel about Daniel Jones or the rest of this football team. They're going out there. They're trying to win. They're trying to do everything they can do, you know, within their ability to put a respectable football team out there. And then on top of that, everything that they did in the draft signals to you this is not a rebuilding year. This is not a developmental year. You brought in a safety with your second round pick. You brought in a slot corner / outside corner with your third round pick. You tried to fill holes left by players that left in free agency because you had to, I guess. I guess they felt as though they had to because they had to because this isn't a developmental year. They're trying to put competent players out there to put a team out there on the field that can win games. They're going to try to. Do I think it's going to work? No, I really don't. But that's what the GM and head coach are trying to do. And when you're going into your third year as a GM and head coach, hell, I don't necessarily blame them. Because like I said, if you don't start to produce something now, man, That seat's going to be blazing hot in 2025. So, Marshall, I don't get your whole developmental comment that you made. Don't make no damn sense, man. And again, why are you going to trade arguably your second best wide receiver on this football team who's 27 years old and just push a guy into the lineup who has done shit for this football team? Can't even produce against the Philadelphia Eagles last year. One of the worst secondaries this league had to offer in 2 games. Couldn't do a damn thing. I don't know, man. There's people out here that make content that is just so far off base. And it's crazy to me because I just sit here and I watch their channels grow and I watch their channels grow. And I'm just sitting here stagnant. You know what I mean? I'll be lucky every season if I get, hell, 20 subscribers. I'll be lucky. That may be my ceiling for a season. That may be my ceiling for an NFL season with the talking New York Giants football is 20 subscribers, if I'm lucky. Because a lot of fans out there, they don't like the way I talk about the team. They can't accept constructive criticism about their football team. They just can't do it. I love this team to death. I hate to come out here and badmouth this team and say negative things about this team. I want to come out here and talk positively about this team in the worst way. I can't even tell you how bad I want to do it. But again, my channel does not consist of a bunch of rubbish, man. And I'm not going to feed you any kind of bullshit at all. I'm going to keep it as real as possible and tell you exactly the way it is. And I will always continue to do that, no matter how slow my channel grows. I am not going to be fake out here. Will not do it. Will not budge off the way I talk about New York Giants football. And it'll probably hurt me in the long run, but it is what it is. At least I know I'm staying true to myself. And at least I can take myself seriously when it comes to talking football. I don't want people to look at me like I'm a complete joke just because I'm being just an absolute homer when it comes to the New York Giants. Like when I talk football, I want to give you some legit information and not have you look at me like I'm some kind of freaking tool bag. And that's why I will not pump this team up. Because I don't believe they're at that point right now. I still think they're a long, long way away from being at that point. But that's it for the video, y'all. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe.